Toastmasters clubs are at their very best and most effective when they have a minimum of 20 members, because at that size it means that you have no difficulty in getting people to fill roles and fill speaking slots, and when club leadership changes, you have no trouble finding people to take on club leadership roles. And so contest chair and fellow Toastmasters and everybody else who I'm forgetting to mention here, I have a proposal for growing your Toastmasters club, and this is based on a couple of things. This is based on my experience being president of City Centre Toastmasters. So if you go back a couple of years, in City Centre Toastmasters, I was president there. I was president of other clubs, and the clubs that I was a part of, we were able to grow and get over that 20 people mark. In fact, when we were first starting to do it with the City Centre, one of our meetings, I think we had 3 club members at the meeting and over 30 visitors. So we had a whole other level of that, but we're able to take that and replicate what we did and turn it into a system, and as in different roles, as a club coach, as a club mentor, I think that's what they call people who help when a new club is starting. I've been able to do those things. But since that Toastmasters experience, I was away from Toastmasters for a couple of years. And in that time away, I've actually been doing something completely new, which what I've been doing over the past couple of years is I have been a digital marketer, a marketing manager, and what I've been doing is I have been walking people through, through the businesses I work with, a customer value journey that takes people all the way from not knowing anything about your club, or Toastmasters even, all the way through to being to being people who are telling their friends and recommending you to other people. So I did have a chat to Apuba before, esteemed president, your esteemed president, and so I was going to talk about the first few stages of the customer value journey, which was how to attract and get people to become members. But the customer value journey applies to the whole thing. I'm not going to go through the whole customer value journey because without a visual it's a little bit hard to keep track of. But after speaking to Apuba, I've decided that I'm just going to focus on what he said the need is, which is the ascend phase, which is after people have come along and after people have become members, what can you do to get them engaged and make sure that they are active and getting the most out of their Toastmasters journey. So that comes back to one of my other passions, which I've had, one of my other old passions, which has always influenced me and driven me, inspired me since I was 15 and discovered awesome book. And that is, that's leadership. I always love leadership. And for me, Toastmasters is about developing leadership as well as developing communication. And and leadership is all about relationships. Leadership is influence, and so to be able to influence is all about relationships. So when I started wanting to grow clubs quickly, I also wanted to go, well, how can I build stronger relationships as president with everybody in the club, and also to support and empower the club leadership team to do the same thing with the members. And with the and so I had systems in place for, when people joined the club, I would give them a call, like a personal call from the president. People really appreciated that. When people spoke, when people gave their first speech, when people gave the icebreaker speech, again, I'd make sure they would get a call. And at other times, there wasn't the time to do that for everybody, especially being involved in multiple clubs and as area director for 2 areas as well. But I would send everybody a text message. And like Mark is very good at doing this in South Yarra Toastmasters. He's always sending like supportive messages, calling everybody out for what they did well. But then the other thing that worked really, really well with it was developing systems. So developing systems so that people, you had processes in place for exactly what would happen. Someone joins, who's responsible for what, to move the person through the next step so that they're engaged, so that the VPE is straight away getting in touch with them to schedule their icebreaker, so that the VPE is also connecting them to their mentor that knows what mentors are available, so that people are getting the most out of their journey and progressing through that the fastest. And then the final thing that about ascending people, because people aren't actually like, if you're building relationships with people, it's not just the first sale, like getting them to pay for their membership the first time. It's getting them to renew their member. It's getting them to stay a member, and they only do that when they're engaged as when people are engaged as members. And that's what you want. That's what you want people to, it's about building long-term relationships. It's about marriage in a club. And so, to do that, you want to be inviting feedback and giving people a chance to talk and have energy. And, within the club leadership team, realizing you set the energy. So what you bring, your preparedness that you bring, and how you model things in the club is what everybody in the club learns from. So that's my proposal for that, is incorporate what you're doing from customer value, incorporate it into the club, and you can then grow the club even further than what it's currently doing.